Hey guys, Jalen from TeamBurningInfinitey. We got Jake with his Laevateinn deck profile.
Well, so guys, this is an unusual world for me, but it's an unusual concept, so it was fun to play around with. Our flag is Legend World, no special properties, and that's a weird thing to say in this game now. And our buddy is Immortal, or the King Durandal, because we respect that Durandal is the OG buddy sword. So, start off, a single monster, size 1 Odysseus. Basically, he instead of playing Outlaw, he's a hand trap that procs himself. When he's out on the... I mean, I'm not going to explain the monster effect, but what I use him for is if you discard him, you gain a life and a draw, so he sifts through and gains back the life that I would pay for certain cards. Next, we have our spells, 2 copies of Skill General's Insight. To spell that isn't even once per turn, has one of 2 options when I use it. I can give every item on my field penetrate, or I can drop a sword to gain 4 damage back at counter speed, which is really fucking useful. And I play this along with 2 other cards instead of 4 regular Holy Grails. The other card would be 2 Great Spell Widerstand. I can only play it after the first attack in my opponent's battle phase, and I pay 2 gauge and 2 life to end the entire attack phase. This card says fuck you to Thunder Empire and anyone who still plays Chaos offensively, because there are those people. It just shuts down the entire play, and after that, this is all about Russian face, so I need that 1 turn, and I go. So this is to basically save my ass if I can draw it. Next, we play 4 copies of Heroic Tail, because who doesn't love Hyper Energy? Problem is, this one's a little conditional. You need 2 heroes on field, which isn't that hard if you draw your main card. Then, we play 4 copies of Merlin's Advice. It is the spell version of Merlin, basically, which is the OG X-Link. This one results in 1 to gauge, 1 to hand, and 1 to drop, which is okay because you are setting up your drop in a couple situations. Then we have Fable of the Sword Sage, pay a life, and you can do 1 of 2 things: give all items 7,000 power, or discard an item and draw 2. Until the Climax booster comes out, this is your main draw engine, honestly. Then, if I can't play regular Holy Grail, I'll play Period Cup, Bloody Holy Grail, which is only active when attacking the player, but you're never having monsters in this deck, so it's always attacking the player. And if you have a hero out on field, it also lets you grab any hero back from drop to your hand besides itself. So you can't just shield into shield into shield. Next, we go on to our weapon lineup. 1, Fabricated Exox. It's a 5,000 power, 1 crit, 1 gauge equip cost, and if there are 4 at the end of the first battle of this card, if you have 4 more heroes or items equipped, it gets double attack. Then we play 2 Cattlebog, which is 2,000 power, 2 crit, and all non-attack damage is reduced by 1. So this is my basic idea against prisms. You don't get to author me. Then we have 2 copies of Mistletoe, 3,000 power, 3 crit, 1 equip for equip cost, and if it's attacking alone, it cannot be reduced. It's a nice 3 crit to the face. Then we have Gauge Excel, with Naggling, 1,000 power, 2 crit, but every time it attacks in general, you gain a gauge, and it's not once per turn if you have multiple. And if it's the first turn play, and you don't have Laevateinn, you can play this out first, and it can equip and change back, which is always nice to have handy. Next, we play... wait, that's 2 or more. Get to the gauge. My bad. Then we play 3 copies of OG Excalibur. Call cost, no one is ever going to use this. Why do we need to read it? It has double attack, 10,000 power, 3 crit, and cannot be blocked by anything with shield in its name, which is mainly meant for Dragon Shields, but there are a couple others it blocks, or it can't be blocked by. And that's until the fake Excalibur comes out, and the answer to all Legend World players' cries will be heard. But my personal opinion will be to mix them. Next on to 3 copies of Dance Slave. It's a named ability. What is it? Blood Sucking of the False King. When this card just deals damage or destroys a monster on your opponent's field, you gain 2 life and engage. Then if you have 3 or more heroes on field, you can also draw a card. And 6,000 power, 1 crit, pay a life to equip. Then you have Room of the King, 0 power, 0 critical, no equip cost. It gives all 1,000 power to all other items on the field, as well as it pay 1 gauge to counter stand another item, and all items on your field cannot be nullified. Then we have another kind of shield that also plays an offensive purpose, Armis Replica, 5,000 power, 1 crit, no equip cost. But if you pay a life and send it to the drop zone, you can nullify an attack. Then we have Sutir Cross, 3,000 power, 1 crit. When this card enters the field, discard a card from your hand and search any Sword of the King and add it to your hand. Basically, your Laevateinn searcher, or if you end up with it later game, you search out any sword in your deck to deck thin, and then sack this off with the spell that sacks a weapon to gain 4 life. Then we have 4 copies of the Buddy, which has equip cost to pay a gauge and a life to equip. Also has a named ability that I honestly forget the name to, but basically sums it up as once per turn you can counter equip a copy of this card, as well as all heroes on your field cannot be destroyed by effects. So getting one of these out is really fucking stupid, and that counter equip card or ability just makes this a fun cinch for game. That's why he's OG. And last but not least, the main card of the deck, Laevateinn. Equip cost is pay 2 gauge, 10,000 power, 2 critical. You can equip as many number of items on your field as you want, but all their equip costs from the hand are increased by 1. And it has an overkill of paying 1 gauge and discarding 1 card at any point during the turn to mill through the top 5 cards of your deck and equip up to 3 items without paying the call cost. That's why without a stupid spell from the Climax Booster, we're playing Excalibur for the pure chance to mill into it. That's the whole deck. Thank you guys very much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.